I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I teach. I taught Sunday school for over 13 or 15 years. I still teach whenever I get the chance to. I get invited to places sometimes to teach, and that's what I do. I just love to teach. I love to pass on the little knowledge that I have. I'm an acting coach already.
Your new role, Mr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, please. If you're an agent of Mrs. Phillips, you failed already. It's Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips.
If we are doing Mr., I'll let it slide. I think I love the precedent upon which the film is set. It's very unlikely that a husband and a wife will be the major, gubernatorial candidates for the two political parties in the state. And I like the dynamics of the fact that the wife is not from the state, but by marriage, she automatically becomes, from my state. And so, because it is in my state, in the film, it is my state that the contest is. And my people felt, after she got the nomination for her party, my people felt that they shouldn't be nominating or electing somebody not from my state. It's funny when it comes to politics, then what marriages bring together don't count, as it were. So my people came to me to tell me to run for the same office. And that's how a loving family was split right down the middle, and love became war.
Why are you running against each other?
Hey, ask your father.
I don't want to put a percentage to it, but I would say most of the time, if it is right on paper, then the director and the entire crew and the editor must be complete non-entities to mess it all up. A good story is a good story, and if you have basic techniques to just translate that on camera, then it usually will do well. That is what survived early Nollywood. Some of the stories were really nice, and don't forget, some of us were seeing these stories for the first time electronically, on camera. So they didn't mind the techniques of directors or DOPs or the technical crew or the lighting, or even the very poor audio that was ruined drowned by generator noises at the time. So a good story is a good story. I love the story. The minute I saw the story, I knew it was going to come out well, and it has really, it turned out really well. There are really some magical moments that the audience will really love. I always love the energy on set, especially when there are young people. The girl who played my daughter, I was working with her for the first time, and she's amazing talent. Always thrilled to work with people like that. For me, the challenge for doing this film was the hours. The hours were very tedious, and there were venues that we needed to be in only after everybody else has closed or gone home, and sometimes we had to start shooting by 11 p.m. and we wrap up in the morning. So the hours were a bit tough, but the energy is always good when the people who you're working with love their job. And for me, anytime I'm doing this work, I don't call it work, so it's easier for me to bear, even when the hours are a bit tedious. It helps, me having been in politics for 8 years before, it helped. I won't say that it didn't help at all, because I know what soapboxes are like. I know what the campaign trails are like. I've been on campaign trails. I've spoken at campaigns and all that. So it was nice. And don't forget, I'm also a trained theater artist. So we love to be able to stand up and just declaim in front of an audience, and that was what it was. It was campaign, even though he was a reluctant candidate. But when he got when he found his groove, like they say, he just rolled on like a steam engine. I have more than 5 memorable scenes, but I won't let the cat out of the bag, like they say. You need to see this film. You need to see this film. You've never seen nobody like this before, ever. You know, you need to just see the film. The dynamics of how two people on opposite sides and they have to sleep in the same house or be in the same space after all that acrimony, it's amazing. You just watch the movie and then you can thank me later. Good story, that's all. And it helps when you have a good wallet, you know, because I put 35 years in this business, so it would be nice when your wallet is a bit deep, because I won't just do anything. I have to also pay bills. Yeah, you know, the kids are at a point now where we have to always buy dollars to pay school fees. But a good story, really. But speaking seriously now, a good story is all it takes. And of course, I respect relationships. I respect my relationships a lot, and I service them. And so I have done incredibly large number of free films for people that I consider, you know, family, and probably don't have the kind of wallet that I expect them to have, and wallet will not become a problem at all. Money is the least of my consideration, really. If the story is good, people who know me in the industry, they will tell you that I'm a sucker for good stories. So if the story is good, money will then become secondary. Because, you know, during the prolific period, let me not say crazy, during the prolific period of Nollywood, as it were, I didn't jump on every band, on every film that came my way. I've always tried to be very selective of the kind of films I did, and in a lot of ways I feel very blessed that, you know, my little body of work can compare with any other person's body of work. For me, it is not about the number of films you do, but the quality of the films that you do. I didn't see a lot of the films that I did at that time. So Throwback Thursdays have really been a thrill for me. Sometimes people don't understand that I'm seeing those clips too for the first time. Apart from a few films like Violated, Out of Bounds, and maybe any other film that had a premiere, most of the other films I didn't watch them. I cringe when I watch myself. So when I'm in a premiere, I end up watching people watching me, because it's like there are 1,001 ways I could have done it or I should have done it. I just want to see if I do something twice, I'll do it differently. So I have this serious aversion to watching myself. If I'm going to do, I've directed. I've been like an assistant director in one of my projects. But if I'm going to direct a movie, it depends on the level of work that I have to do as an actor. I probably would just not act in it. My first directorial work, I would prefer to not be an actor in it at all, because I like to just dedicate and commit to it. Yeah.
Okay, so you also said roles are never finished.
Oh yeah, I mean, actors don't retire. I mean, the roles will always come. As long as people breathe, people will always want to escape or want to be entertained or want to be taught a lesson or something. So yeah, Rose will always be there.
So what roles are you aiming, to interpret that you've not done so far?
I want to play God. It's one of my bucket lists. I've played the devil in another film that's coming out, Made in Heaven. I missed a chance to play God recently, but I want to play God. I want to play God. I played, I think I played the president. I want to play God. Yeah. I just want to play God. I want to play a God character. It's funny, but since I watched Oh God or Oh My God by this old actor, and then when I saw Amitabh Bachchan, the Indian actor, now that I have some grays, so by the time I'm probably 60 something and the grays are a little bit grayer, or like Snow White, then I'll probably get a role to play God.
Oh, you found one?
Or I'll write one myself. Yeah. I think viewers are the same. They are spoiled for choices now, so that's what has really changed from the days of old to now. Television has left the screen, the wall, the big screen. Television has left its scenes, or like they would say, content has left the big screen. It's now on the phone. So it's YouTube. There's all kinds of things. People are just there's complete disruption. So people are spoiled for choice, but the audience, they like what they like, and how have I been able to sustain it, or do I still think that I have the power to attract people to watch what I do? I don't think I think I've gained more audience, if anything, and I'm grateful for that, because I never take my audience for granted. For me, every encounter, every chance to be on stage or to be in the film or to be in a television series is a chance to say thank you to the audience. And once you operate, I have this theory of acting that it is not about stylistics. It's not about being a method actor or being what the other thing that they say. It's about sincerity of purpose. It's about love for what you're doing and true commitment to what you're doing. So if I'm playing a role, once there's a sincere approach to the role, then people can connect. There's no magic to it. Call it whatever name you want to call it. People will empathize with you once you are able to connect with them. It's almost spiritual. And so once you have been able to reach them, that circle continues, and the energy just grows and grows and grows and grows and never diminishes. So because I do that all the time, I contact my audience all the time, and I express how grateful I am to always be able to stand in front of them. They give me back. Giving me back means just applauding, and that is always something that I will forever be grateful about. Thank you, God. From worry, that's from a small worry boy to the world. Thank you. I mean, it's just very humbling. You have to understand that I come from a very, I don't want to call it a very lowly place, but I come from Warri, where I grew up in Warri, and for us coming to Lagos, you have to cross how many states to get here, right? So for most of us, just making it out of the town and making something for yourself it's success, as it were, because people I get spoken to sometimes, or I get people who come to me and say, oh, because of you, because you have been there, we are coming there, or because you have been there, we have been able to come here as well. So I'm 58, and I look back, I see my brother Alibaba, I look back, I see Moody, I look back, I see AY, I see Bovy, and you can roll it back. You can keep rolling it back. There is a Warri boy, there is the real Warri Pekin, You can just keep rolling it back. And it is because, just like me, years ago, I saw a Jide Ogungbade on TV. I saw a Jimmy Solanke on TV, and all I wanted to do was just be where Jimmy Solanke was, where these people were, where Shola Omole was on TV as a newscaster. All I wanted to do was just be on television, and today I'm on television, and people are saying the same testimonies about me now. They say, "Oh, when I was young, I just wanted to be like you, RMD." So that's it. I've done my work, as it were, and I want to keep doing the work so that those who are just going to be meeting me at any point that they're going to meet me, they will be able to look back and say, "Oh, if this guy could make it, then people from this side can make it." Because what it means is that I can look at the success of any Warri boy today and I say that person represents me. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm already an acting coach. I coach all the time. That is one of the things I do well. Somebody asked me a few days ago, if you are not an actor, what would you be? I said a college professor or a lecturer in the university. I'm a teacher, that's what I do. I teach. I taught Sunday school for over 13 or 15 years. I still teach whenever I get the chance to. I get invited to places sometimes to teach, and that's what I do. I just love to teach. I love to pass on the little knowledge that I have. I'm an acting coach already. I think it's a question of perspective, or it's a question of from where you're looking at it. It's arguable. People will always have a nostalgic feeling for things past, because if they are disappointed in some of the things that are happening right before them, so people will argue that the stories were better in the 90s or in the 90s than what is happening now. But I don't want to. I've not reviewed it with data and all of that, so that one will be able to say precisely what it is. But I think people love some of the very interpersonal relationships that the early stories explored, because what happened in the 90s was we explored more of our relationships. There were more dramatic stories. Now we're trying to do a lot of things, and if you are looking on only cinema movies, the movies that get to the cinema, because of how the economy is, and people want to be entertained, people want to escape the harsh realities of their lives. When they go to the cinema for that 90 minutes or 2 hours, they just want to laugh. And so comedies that are really big and ribald are the ones that are selling now. So in that sense, people can look at the cinema movies, forgetting that they are made for TV movies. There are movies that go straight to DVDs that are a lot more than the ones that go to the cinema. So that's why I say that it depends on how you look at it and who is speaking. But the stories in the 90s were really nice. We just didn't have the technical aspects to deliver the stories like we do now. Digitalization, like you said, has democratized the space, and so filmmakers can be filmmakers by just an iPhone or whatever it is that they're working with.